Hey everyone, it's me, Charlie Q. And this is part 2 of my Jan de Bont retrospective. The year is 1996. It's been 2 years since Jan de Bont had a film out. Speed was a massive success. How could he follow it up? Well, in 1996, Jan de Bont blew everyone's mind with Twister. Speed director Jan de Bont delivers this intense, satisfying thrills in Twister. I love this movie. Whenever I can't decide what to watch, this or The Day Tomorrow are my top picks. This is one of my all-time favorite movies, and I've watched it several times during my life. I have praised the dark tone, CGI, soundtrack, and characters. This movie packs some intense thrills and extreme moments. This is the best natural disaster movie ever made. It's got a fun cast, silly plot, and amazing visuals and production. Twister is one of my personal favorites. It wows us with its special effects and great CGI. Yeah, the ending might be a little cheesy, but what do you expect? It's Hollywood. Bill Paxton and Helen Hunt have great chemistry, and the addition of the late Philip Seymour Hoffman is one of his funniest roles, makes this movie. No one can be disappointed with Twister. If they're coming to a film looking for lots of tornadoes, however, they might not have been asking for the corniest possible melodramatic relationship story between it. And that makes it a good and rare contender for it's so bad it's good. The Twisters are sheer entertainment, and usually come in at just the right point to break up the horribly acted melodrama, which would otherwise be unforgivable. Right from the get-go, the jerk is trying to get a divorce with the sweetheart who doesn't want it. And that dynamic lasts the entire film, until she eventually wins his heart back. Except by that point, we think she's pathetic, and we don't mind if he gets twisted away. Twister has aged pretty well as far as special effects go. The cast was great. Cary Elwes is one of my favorites. He definitely shows his versatility here, playing a complete jerk. I couldn't help feeling bad for the female fiancé character. They could have come up with another reason for the main characters to reacquaint. I just felt like the fiancé was comic relief without the comedy. Otherwise, the movie isn't too long and kept me entertained without many slow points. This is a brilliant film. If you're into major action and of course severe weather storm, for a film that was created in '96, I believe it's very important to appreciate the special effects for its time. The characters are very likable, including Joe, Bill, and Dusty as well, and as well as the rest of the characters. While this film may lack realism, it is really the closest you're getting to feeling what a tornado is really like up close. Unless you're a storm chaser, of course. I mean, this is a great movie. The storyline and acting are epic. The soundtrack is legendary. If you love adventure, you'll love this movie, especially during tornado season. Helen Hunt and Bill Paxton were the perfect match for this film. I love Twister. It has great effects, fun characters, and has an actual storyline with good pacing. This is my favorite disaster flick, and yes, it is silly. But come on, it has Bill Paxton, Helen Hunt, and Philip Seymour Hoffman. Plus a really hateable weatherman. The CGI in this film is still so amazing. The cow shot was revolutionary and changed the way movies were made.
Cow. I gotta go, Julia. We got cows. Another cow.
While possibly not the most accurate scientifically or the best plot in the world, it's an outstanding movie. When I can't figure out what else to watch, it's one of my go-to movies. Everyone has movies they can watch over and over and over again and never get tired. This is one of those movies for me. This movie is well balanced, with great characters who all get their chance to stand out and shine. The premise is simple. Storm chasers chasing twisters. The effects still stand up after over 20 years. And this is a good film to watch with kids, as long as they're not too young. I was also surprised that there were many stars in the movie who hadn't yet risen to the top, like Helen Hunt or Philip Seymour Hoffman and Jami Gertz. If asked, I could pick my favorite character or moment. Best to park your brain on the side of the road and just enjoy the fun. Twister is one of the most iconic, amazing, and absolutely spectacular weather-based movies ever made. This movie is really dramatic and has a really cool, realistic look on nature and human nature. I've grown up watching this movie. So has most of my family. I love this movie and can't say enough about it. It deserves way more. Twister has perfect sound design and work. The film displays an interesting concept with a beautiful ambience and filled with these intense moments. The destruction effects were nice, but the tornado effects were simply decent. The soundtrack was decent, but had bits of beautiful audio, especially the chorus bits. Despite having great ambience, sound, and destruction effects, the film is plagued with unconvincing and wooden acting, unnatural direction, unrealistic scenarios, and the ending was far too over the top and unsatisfying for me. Overall, a fun film with many flaws. This is the best tornado/storm chaser movie ever made, though. By far. Bill Paxton has issues, but Helen Hunt and the rest of the cast are on point. My family and I would watch this movie every spring and summer. And my mom said she had to share this with her kids as knowledge. She said, I point out the truth and the cinematic drama, but overall there's nothing like this movie. Often imitated, never duplicated. It's a superb thriller with incredible flying cows and oil tankers and daily projectables from unhinged wooden fences. What makes this film so heartwarming is the huge human interest. Handsome Bill Paxton, with his winsome smile, and darling Helen Hunt, and her infectious smile, made a perfect pair of meteorologists. And Twister is easily one of my favorite movies of all time. I was 13 when I saw this in the springtime. My fascination with weather was at an all-time high at this point. The special effects were terrific for the era. I could go on and on about this movie, but I'll just say it'll go down as a classic. The most recent disaster flick I can think of is Into the Storm. And it's a good effort as well, but Twister is a classic and stands the test of time. Okay, I could go on and on into a long rant on how and why I love this movie so much. But the fact is that this movie has been out for almost 2.5 decades at this point. So you don't need my 2 cents at this point on this movie. It is easily a top 5 favorite film of all time for me. I wish more suspense films were this thrilling, especially in the natural disaster film genre. This film is always and will be a classic. And to the Twister haters who say, it sucks, no kidding. It's a Twister. Thank you so much for watching, guys. I hope you are enjoying the retrospective so far. These videos have been really fun for me to make. I've been so happy to have a great reason to rewatch all these amazing movies. And yeah, I'm really excited to get the next one out for you. Next time we'll be talking about Speed 2, Cruise Control. So yeah,
What's up, guys?
I'll see you guys in the next one. Thank you so much for watching. This has been the Charlie Q Review. Because I was stronger than the future. I was more powerful than what they could have imagined. And, when it came to what I'm creating here, it's art. And you can never discount what that is. So run with your dreams and run with your heart and run with your future. You never know when you're going to lose it. You're going to
It's time to pay the piper.